The cardboard boxes were stacked high in my small bedroom, each one filled with a fragment of my life in this quiet town where everyone knew everyone. I stood in the middle of the room, looking around at the faded wallpaper and the wooden shelf where I had kept my old school books and childhood treasures. It felt strange to know that by tomorrow, this room would be completely empty, waiting for a new chapter that didn't involve me. I walked down the creaking wooden stairs, my heart heavy with a bittersweet ache.
Are you sure you have everything, Elena? My mom asked, pulling me into a tight, lingering hug as soon as I reached the kitchen. Her eyes were slightly red. The capital is so big, much bigger than anything you're used to. Promise me you'll lock your door and eat properly. I'll be fine, Mom, I said, forcing a reassuring smile to hide my own nervousness. I'm just going for my studies, and I'll call you every single day, I promise. Suddenly, I felt a familiar tug on the hem of my shirt. I looked down to see my younger siblings, Leo and Mia, standing side by side. They were holding onto my clothes, their small faces looking up at me with a mix of curiosity and worry.
Are you really leaving, Elena? Mia whispered, her big eyes glistening with unsweetened tears. Who's going to help us with our homework and read us our bedtime stories? I knelt down, bringing myself to their eye level, and pulled them both into a warm hug. You have to be brave, okay? It's just for university, and I'll be back during the holidays. Leo, you're the man of the house now. Take care of your sister. And Mia, make sure Leo doesn't sneak extra sweets before dinner. Leo sniffled and wiped his nose with his sleeve. We'll miss you so much, Elle. Bring us back something cool from the city. The morning of departure arrived too quickly. We loaded the car, waved a final goodbye to our neighbors who had gathered to see me off, and set off. The drive to the capital was long, hours of winding roads and changing landscapes. Gradually, the green mountains and quiet fields of my hometown faded away, replaced by endless stretches of highway, until finally, the skyline of the capital appeared on the horizon, glowing under the morning sun. When we arrived in the city, the sheer scale of it left me breathless. Tall glass skyscrapers towered over crowded streets, and the constant hum of traffic and chatter of pedestrians filled the air. It was overwhelmingly alive. After navigating through a maze of busy avenues, my father finally parked the car in front of the university gates.
The campus was magnificent, featuring historic brick buildings mixed with modern glass lecture halls, and hundreds of students walking across the green courtyards, laughing and chatting in groups. It felt like stepping into an entirely different world. We went straight to the administrative building, where I received my student ID, my room assignment, and the keys to the campus dormitory. My father helped me carry my heavy suitcases across the paved pathways all the way to the dormitory entrance.
Call us the second you get settled in,
my father said, giving me a warm hug and pressing some extra cash into my hand.
We are so proud of you, Elena. Go make your dreams come true.
I watched as my parents got back into the car and drove away, their car slowly disappearing into the stream of city traffic. For a brief moment, a wave of loneliness washed over me, standing there alone with my luggage in front of the massive dormitory building. But I quickly shook it off, took a deep breath, and smiled to myself. The dormitory building looked bright, modern, and welcoming, with large glass doors and students walking in and out, chattering happily. It felt clean, organized, and safe. I grabbed the handle of my suitcase, the wheels clicking smoothly against the floor as I pushed open the glass doors, ready to step into my bright university future. With the key to room 304 clutched tightly in my hand, I made my way down the brightly lit, polished hallway of the dormitory. My heart fluttered with a mix of nervous anticipation and excitement. I wondered what my roommate would be like. Would she be quiet and studious like me? I stopped in front of the door, took a deep breath, and turned the key. The door swung open to reveal a cozy room with 2 beds, 2 desks, and large windows letting in the afternoon sun. Sitting on the bed near the window was a girl with a warm, friendly smile who immediately put down her phone and stood up. "Hey, you must be Elena, right?"
I'm Sarah, she said, walking over and greeting me with a welcoming wave. I just moved in a few hours ago. Glad to finally meet my roommate. Hi, Sarah. Yes, I'm Elena. I smiled back, feeling a wave of relief wash over me. It's so nice to meet you. I was a bit nervous about who I'd be rooming with. Oh, don't worry at all. We're gonna get along great. Do you want the bed by the window, or should we set things up together? Sarah's greeting was so sweet and easygoing that all my anxiety melted away instantly. We spent the rest of the afternoon happily unpacking our belongings, chatting about our hometowns, and organizing our desks. On that first day, everything felt like an absolute dream. I went to sleep that night feeling grateful, genuinely believing that university life was going to be wonderful. The first day went smoothly, but the second day revealed a completely different side of Sarah. It started innocently enough with music playing from her laptop, but as the weeks rolled on, the situation rapidly deteriorated. Sarah wasn't just lively, she was intensely chaotic and utterly inconsiderate. She started inviting a group of her loud friends over into our small room late at night, transforming our shared space into a hangout spot filled with shouting and blaring music. Tried my absolute best to be understanding, keeping telling myself to give her time, but the behavior worsened over a long period. Sarah didn't just host gatherings, she would sit up watching action movies at full volume, or stream music when I desperately needed to sleep. One night, the clock on my desk glowed past midnight. I had a major exam at 8 in the morning, and the bass from Sarah's speakers was literally vibrating my pillow. I sat up, rubbing my tired eyes, and looked across the room where she and her friends were laughing loudly. Sarah, please, I pleaded, my voice cracking with exhaustion. I really need to sleep. Can you guys turn the music down or maybe move to the common lounge? Sarah turned around, rolling her eyes as her friends snickered. Oh, come on, Elena. It's barely past midnight. You're always studying. Live a little. I am serious, Sarah. I have an exam tomorrow morning, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Relax, we're leaving in 10 minutes anyway. She waved her hand dismissively, turning right back to her friends without a care in the world. 10 minutes turned into an hour. Beyond the endless noise, the room became a disaster zone. Sarah simply didn't care about cleanliness. Clothes were piled in heaps across the floor, snack wrappers littered her desk, and she never took out the trash. One afternoon, I walked in and sighed, looking at the mess blocking my path. Sarah, the room is getting really messy. Can we at least keep the floor clear? If the mess bothers you so much, Elena, just clean it up yourself. I'm busy. While Sarah lived entirely for parties and distractions, my life headed in the opposite direction. I dedicated myself completely to my studies, spending long hours at the library and earning the respect of my professors. I even made a few genuine friends in my classes who shared my academic goals. But returning back to the dorm at the end of a long day always felt like walking into a trap, because no matter how exhausted I was, I knew peace in my own room was impossible. The next day, I sat with my 4 friends, Mila, Iris, Aria, and Luna. We were supposed to be reviewing our lecture notes, but the heavy, dark circles under my eyes told a completely different story. I dropped my pen, rested my hands in my hands, and let out a long, shaky sigh. Okay, Elena, that's it, Mila said, closing her textbook with a sharp snap and looking directly at me. You look like a walking zombie. What happened this time? Did Sarah throw another party at 3 in the morning? Worse, I mumbled, my voice muffled by my hands. She didn't sleep at all last night. She brought a bunch of her friends over, turned on the TV at full volume, and when I asked her to turn it down, she laughed right in my face. I haven't gotten a full night's rest in weeks, and I just can't take it anymore. Iris frowned, leaning across the table. Why haven't you gone to the dormitory administration yet? You have every right to request a room change. I've thought about it, but the dorms are usually completely packed this time of year, I said, shaking my head hopelessly. They probably won't even listen to me.
You won't know until you try, Elena. Arya urged gently, placing a hand on my shoulder. You're a top student, and your health is suffering. Go talk to them right now. We'll cover your notes. Encouraged by my friend's support, I didn't waste another second. I stood up, gathered my things, and marched straight to the administration office on the ground floor. pushed open the frosted glass door and approached the front desk, where the head dorm manager, a strict-looking woman with sharp features, was reviewing some paperwork.
"Excuse me, ma'am," I began, my voice slightly trembling. "I need to request a room change. I'm sharing room 304, and the situation with my roommate has become completely unbearable." The manager didn't even look up from her papers. "Room changes are only permitted under extreme circumstances, miss. The semester has already started, and all standard rooms are fully occupied. You'll just have to learn to get along with your roommate." "You don't understand," I pleaded, stepping closer to the desk. "She leaves trash everywhere, plays loud music all night, and screams with her friends while I have exams. I can't study, I can't sleep, and my grades are starting to drop. I've tried everything to talk to her, but she completely ignores me." The manager finally looked up, staring at me with a stern expression. She studied my exhausted face for a long, quiet moment, taking in the dark circles and the desperation in my eyes. Slowly, a soft sigh escaped her lips. "Fine," the manager said reluctantly, adjusting her glasses. "There is one option, but you might not like it. The 4th floor is completely empty. We can transfer you up there, and you will have a room entirely to yourself." A wave of pure relief washed over me. "A room all to myself? Yes! Please, I'll take it immediately." The manager gave me a warning look, her voice dropping lower. "Listen to me carefully, Elena. The 4th floor has been completely vacant for almost 7 years now. No students have lived up there during that entire time, so it will be very quiet. But if you move up there, you are entirely on your own." I didn't care about the history or why it was empty. The only word my brain registered was alone. Peace, quiet, and a place where I could finally sleep. "I don't care at all," I said quickly, a massive smile breaking across my face. "Thank you so much. I'll pack my things tonight." By the next afternoon, I had transferred all my belongings to the 4th floor. Standing in my brand new, completely private room, I felt like I had just won the lottery. There was no loud music, no piled up trash, and absolute, beautiful silence. That evening, thrilled with my newfound freedom and eager to celebrate, I invited all 4 of my friends, Mila, Iris, Aria, and Luna, over to check out my new space. We piled into the room, laughing, carrying snacks, and feeling happier than we had all semester, completely unaware of what was waiting for us in the quiet shadows of the 4th floor.